Call this select board meeting of June 3rd to order. Welcome to everyone, and please let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I have a couple remarks to make. First off, I want to publicly thank the town clerk's office for the hard work that they did on helping the select board with the printing and mailing of some of the public service board information that we had to send in. They literally spent hours on this, helping us out, and they were just so great about it. The next thing I would like to mention too is Vernon Town Picnic is June 29th from 3 till dark. 10 to 12 will be a softball game with the residents versus the town employees, which is always a lot of fun, a good time by all. 3 to 4 is a town parade that will start at the post office and goes to Huckle Hill to the baseball field. 4 to dark, there'll be bounce houses, DJ with dancing, a touch a truck from 4 to 5, and the Vernon Fire Department will be doing a barbecue with ice cream and cotton candy. So, and then fireworks at dark, and the event is being sponsored in some part by Vermont Yankee. So we want to thank Vermont Yankee for their sponsorship, and please, Vernon neighbors, come on out and enjoy the day. It's always fun when the community gets together, and it's been a couple years since we've had a town picnic. So it'll be a great time for all of us. Just also want to thank Josh Unruh and his entire committee for the hard work that they put into the town picnic. Anybody who's ever been involved in the town picnic knows it's not an easy task. It's a lot of work that's put in behind the scenes before the day actually happens. So thank you, Josh, and your committee for all your hard work. Also, want to announce that Wilmington and Dover are hosting at Howe Farm in Wilmington, Vermont on Route 100. They're hosting a moving wall from June 13th to the 17th, from dawn till dusk, with a dedication ceremony at 1 o'clock on Saturday, June 15th. And it's to honor the men and women of the armed forces of the United States who served in the Vietnam War. The names of those who gave their lives and of those missing are inscribed in the order that they were taken from us. So please come out and honor our veterans who served in Vietnam. That's the one group of veterans that have never been thanked enough, and hope to see you all there. And that's the end of my announcements. So we will go on to approval of minutes of May 20th. And has everybody read these carefully to make sure that we have our corrections in the way they needed to be?
Yeah, I thought the dates were right. Somebody had mentioned that they didn't think the dates were the right dates, and they certainly are. I think, as far as I'm concerned.
So a motion to approve the minutes?
Just two corrections.
Oh,
Possibly page 5, Richard and Mary. I'm not sure of the spelling of Mary. It should have an A or, excuse me, an E or not.
No.
It should be N-A-R-Y, right?
Yes.
Strike the E
Yeah.
from Richard's name.
Yep.
Bottom, welcome Mr. Huntley back to town. To less confusion, just Alfred Huntley. Alfred Dunkley, strikeout father, was undergoing surgery.
and we're glad to say that he's on the mend, and
Yes.
he'll be...
Back to work soon.
If he isn't already.
I was gonna say he'll be driving you crazy soon, but that's not true. Okay.
He's probably watching.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the minutes as corrected.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes of May 20th as corrected. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, treasurer's reports.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Harris?
I make the motion that we approve and sign warrants 24 SG accounts payable, $27,275.20. Warrant 21F payroll for $11,765.78. And 22S payroll, $30,379.10.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve and pay warrants 24 SG accounts payable for $27,275.20, 21S payroll for $11,765.78, and 22S payroll for $30,379.10. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have an emergency management letter of agreement. Yeah. This was actually sent in by Mike McKenney, who is the emergency planning manager, in, I don't know how many years ago. 2011. We granted permission to use the town office building as personal assembly area in the remote possibility of an accident at Vermont Yankee, and we need to update that and approve that every year.
Mhm.
So if I can have a motion, we can sign.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the letter of agreement between Entergy Nuclear Vermont Yankee and the town of Vernon. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. It says check one, which one?
Check one is letter of agreement between Entergy Vermont Yankee and my organization is still valid. So that means that this letter is still valid, we don't need to make any changes, and I don't think that we have any changes planned,
No.
so.
Nope. So check one. Not two.
Got it.
Who seconded the motion?
I did.
The one with the mouth disappeared. We have Ms. Royden here, so if you'd like to come up, we can discuss anything else that you have to discuss at this time.
That would be awesome, thank you.
Why don't you pass this on to her and see? Perfect timing.
We tried.
I got this email,
Oh, I know.
Today.
EEOP, yep.
so we can sign it, and I think most of it's filled in, but you might want to take it and look at it.
Yeah, I think we just have to change, people.
Right. So we have to put that
So
in.
Janet needs to go in,
Mhm.
and Sandy.
Okay.
Those are the only two additions. I have the other one. My computer, I got a new computer, and it did, and when I transferred all my stuff, it lost Word. And I'm going.
Oh.
Well, I guess,
Fortunately, my son came, and he brought me a new Word.
I guess if it's all right with the rest of the board, as long as the document looks exactly like this document, which is the people changed, we can make the motion to go ahead and sign it, and when you have it printed off
Right.
with the new information on it, you can just bring it to the
Right.
office and I can
As
sign
I
it.
said, it's gonna be exactly the same with the exception of
Of the
these
adding two people.
adding two people, because everybody got reassigned, and then there's the Vernon Fire.
It's
everything's
still
just
Todd, right?
Todd and his assistant is still the same assistant.
Okay.
And Paul is the head of manager, blah, blah. So everything is exactly the same, it's gonna be a piece of cake.
Okay, if I can get a motion to sign the updated contract?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, sign the updated contract. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So as soon as you have it ready, you can sign it.
Okay, awesome, so we'll have it, I'm a little cranked.
Yeah,
Right now.
speaking of that, we have our major two-year drill coming up with FEMA and and everyone else in the world
I'll be there.
coming. And I just want to take a second to thank Annette for all her hard work on behalf of the town. We do have the best emergency management organization in the entire state, and it's all because of the leadership of Annette. Even though sometimes when we show up at drills, she drives us nuts because she's a taskmaster. But we do run efficiently and effectively because of your leadership, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, you're more than welcome, but I also want to thank all of everybody. I mean, you guys are so super. I mean, and you will, you know, in another 2 or 3, you can run the place.
After I follow Chris around for I think my job is to follow you around all day this week. Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm gonna.
Everybody follows Chris, everybody follows Chris for a little while, maybe about 5 minutes, and they're like, I had enough.
As long as we can tolerate it.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I meant.
So can I just bring up the other thing?
You absolutely can.
Okay, it turned, what's happened is that we used to get $5,000 to do with what we wanted. And it was just like free will type of stuff. That's changed. And it's use it or lose it. Which doesn't make any sense to me. It never has made any sense to me. I mean, it's a grant. Leave it there, and when something big comes around, you've got, you know, $15,000 as opposed to 5, and you do it. So, having said that, we're the only EOC in the EPZ that has a manual generator. So I was originally going to just switch it over to electric start, because this one is a pull start. And then I started talking to Mark Gilmore, and I'm going, and he's going, oh, and that it doesn't cost any more. It costs about the same. So I went to Sandry, who has just started propane, and they bought rice, and now they're doing their own propane, and I figured they might be hungry. I sent this guy Tom, who was just incredible, and I kept saying, this is not the town of Vernon, just please remember this is not, I mean, because, you know, they hear Vernon and they go, ka-ching! And I'm going, no, this isn't the town of Vernon. I said, I only have $5,000. But I do have the transfer switch, and that's all I got. And he's going,
So you whined.
no, I begged.
Yeah.
I was pathetic. I wasn't even whining. I was just so pathetic. I only have $5,000. So he came in at $4,995, which is,
The other $5,000.
I don't know, but I think he was just, I have to say that they were really pleased to be doing business with the town of Vernon. It doesn't, you know, and I know the people at St. Rita Food, so that's helpful. But at any rate, so then Home Depot, I have to be careful how I say that. Home Depot, they have to make a home visit, so I gave them, I filled out the form and heard nothing. So then I called them and I said, hey, what is this? I mean, I thought you did this generator thing. So they sent a guy, they sub it out, and some guy, a really retired, something or other, engineer, he came in and he gave me a quote on the spot, which was $6,200. I think it was actually minus, because I'm going to do the electric. We're going to do the electric. I'm either going to have Big Y do the electric, or I'm going to hire Tom Fox, because their prices, the electricians are just $80, $90 an hour, and I'm not doing it. I mean, I don't have $5,000.
And that extra 5 is not going far.
I mean, in case anybody didn't hear, she only has $5,000.
We're which was an out and out lie, but, you know, it worked. So that's, I'm asking if I could officially waive the bidding process, because it wasn't done the proper way anyway with the thing in the paper and whatever, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna get any, I mean, I said to him, is 5,000 gonna cover this in the beginning, and he said, not. It's also gonna give us the gas tanks, which they all do, but I think he's gonna fill them. The only thing that they're asking in return is a year's contract with them for the propane, which is ludicrous. If we don't lose power,
We don't use the
we
propane.
have 120 gallons of propane sitting in the tank.
Well, plus they'll loan the tank.
Right.
Right.
But they're gonna set the tank, so they're gonna make the pad, a concrete pad, they're gonna set everything, blah, 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 blah. So I really, really don't think I'm gonna get it any cheaper.
You have to use the money before when?
Like yesterday.
I
Madam
don't,
Chair?
yeah, I was gonna say, you,
Number one, it's grant. It's your grant money. I mean, it's
I
not,
know, I
it's
don't
not
like this.
town dollars, so it is a little bit different than actually spending.
yeah, you don't have to
It's
go
not
by the
town
bid
money. Right.
No, right.
policy.
Right.
And our bid policy is up to $5,000. You only have to get verbals anyway.
Oh, cool. Well, I have one
I'll make a
written
motion
and
to
one verbal.
waive it.
Absolutely, just in case, yep.
Go ahead.
And I'll second.
To waive it, and Marty, Sandy.
Thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to waive the bid process and go with Sandry for the generator for the emergency management office. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I just have to tell you that it's a Kohler generator, it's a commercial generator, it's not a Generac, which, we don't need a big one, and Generac.
I don't know, if we're sleeping there some night, we may want to.
I think
Nah.
they're gonna do somewhere between 8 and 10 kilowatts. He wasn't sure which one it was, it doesn't matter. We ran the whole thing on 550.
It'll keep the tea and coffee going for us, right?
It'll keep the ACs going,
Or the heat.
or the heat, so, anyway, I think Sandry went above and beyond, to accommodate us and help, for which I was really grateful. So thank you, unless you need anything more from me, I will see you all on Wednesday.
Yes, if you have that Wednesday, I'll sign it Wednesday. If not, anytime you have it, bring it in, and then we'll get it out to
I'm
individual.
getting the photographs, photographers are coming tomorrow to photograph the interior and exterior of my house.
Okay. So you won't have it, don't worry about it.
You should, you've seen the house. I'm running out of places to hide things.
Listing your house is so much fun.
I have empty totes.
I'm toast coming up to you, and it's a question of
Where to put 'em, yeah.
And now I'll never find anything ever again, so I will, fortunately, I have the blank of this on.
Anytime you want me to come over and help organize.
Thank you, I may
She
have
makes
to-
fun of me all the time because I organize
Well, and
everything.
match.
But
If that came tonight, we had to get I had to get a health certificate for the cows who are going to Deerfield, so they need a health certificate to move on. Are we a brucellus-free area, TB as well?
For sure. Pretty clean,
Yeah, good, because they
but that, and they still test things in.
tested my house. You have them too, you can test this, Scottish Highlander.
That's bad when you don't get out. See why when they stay.
So, Jan is up in the freezer. Did they not?
Yeah. So, fuel. Let's not talk about
Well, I have to because they thought it was mine first.
Oh.
They blamed me. And it was like, for once, it wasn't my fault. So Wednesday, you got all of the thing, protocol. And this time around, I'm too busy to be uptight and nervous. So,
Good. It was
yes,
good for you.
I know. I should-
No, it's good for us.
Yeah.
I don't get yelled at then.
It's very good for you. It's really good for me because, whatever.
can I ask you, will we get called before 8:30?
Well, what?
We get called before 8:30?
I have no clue.
Yes, and speaking of which, when I get called and I call everybody, it's, I'm sorry, it's a drill, blah, blah, take it, I gotta go, because I gotta keep I have calls to make. I had one person that just, well, what are we, and I'm like, I can't talk, it's a drill, I have to go. It's quick like that.
And it's really unusual when Chris says, I can't talk.
It kind of is. That's the truth. I have to admit it.
So I think we're gonna get Bob.
Oh, good.
He came to interview, the school, Mark. So I think, so he's involved in this drill, so I think we get him. And he can be, he nickels and dimes you.
That's all right, we're good.
We are,
We know our jobs.
And we do, and, you know, so, and so I like the fact that we get a homeland security guy with license.
Again, thank you, Annette, for all
You're
your hard
welcome.
work.
My pleasure.
Have a good one.
Enjoy, thank you.
Okay, next, utility appeal. I think that must be you, Bill.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And if you don't ask me too many questions, I did get a copy for my wife and give me a copy.
Are we going to use the silent hijack?
No, I'm fine. Read that and then,
How about you and I look on over into
sure.
Good grief.
I already knew this, the attorney.
I knew you did.
Yeah.
Kinda gotta make it official.
Anybody have any questions?
Good news.
Yep.
It's very good news.
Is there anything that the board have to do?
No, we made a decision. Originally, I was thinking I needed your input, but we made the decision, the listed board. And talking with Coutant and Brian and Skip, we think it's best to do it the way we're doing it. We refund the 10,000 for 2012, because that is an appeal. And maybe by doing this, it might keep them from going to further appeal the court, or it might not.
Do you have the authority to do that?
Yes, we do.
Are you sure?
Yep. You don't, we do. We have no authority to spend money. You don't, we don't.
But
on
that's
a
what you're,
decision like this, we have. the authority.
oh, okay, so you're changing their
Appraisal.
appraisal by
We're-
10,000, yes,
we're
okay.
Adjusting.
If, in other words, we could technically not refund that money and actually increase it like in the last paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
but, that would be asking for trouble.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, okay.
Now, it's no,
I think this is the wise thing to do. Legally,
compromise.
we can move on, but I guarantee we'd be in court. So I think at this point, we'll do what the rules, we've been to court over the issue of not holding. So we're gonna hold it for 3 years. Hopefully that'll make them happy.
may I ask?
When I read this, I thought
A
you were
question?
paying them back
No.
10,000, that's why I
We're
asked
going
you.
to have to, because it was roughly between 700 and 800,000 more in 2012 than it was in 2011. So we're gonna have to credit that back in order to hold this for 3
But
years.
it would end up being cheaper to credit that than it would be just to keep fighting for a while.
And can they appeal if you?
They can still appeal.
Oh, they can?
Oh, they
Oh, yeah.
can,
I
okay.
thought they could if you held it.
No, they got 30 days.
Okay.
If they don't like what the decision
Oh,
was,
no,
they
no,
got
I
30
meant
days.
the 3 year, if they accept it. isn't the 3-year statutory, that it has to stay the same unless they.
I'd like to ask-
Yes and no.
I like the answers. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
One, this does not have to go through the Board of Civil Authority, am I correct?
We've already been through the Board of Civil Authority.
Okay.
This went beyond that.
Yeah, I know it had at one time, but I didn't know if it had to go back. Okay,
It's actually gone through the list of the Board of Civil Authority.
Right.
Both in 2011 and in
Yes.
2012.
right.
See, and the thing that, you know, they have added the shunt reactor,
Mm-hmm.
and we're feeling that we're not gonna pick that up until 2014.
Okay. And the $10,000 is just a drop in taxes, no money exchange,
No,
correct?
That is, they had to pay the taxes for 2012,
Mm-hmm.
which means we're gonna have to refund or give it credit for.
Okay, and where would that come from? I mean, what,
We listed had nothing to do with money.
it would have to be up to us to come, okay.
Probably you'd work it out with the utility.
Yeah, right. Okay, yep. I didn't know, I just,
In that last paragraph, Bhutan is trying to see where we're at. We
Right.
haven't heard, and he'll probably let us know, he'll probably let you know where we're at. But, I mean, they still can appeal
mhm.
further on.
Always.
We just think that what we're doing is the best decision for right now. So,
I agree.
So, this is gonna cost us $10,000.
Do we have to refund for 2012? Yes. Because they appealed 2011, and that's the one that it finally took, 2 years, and then it finally got through the state hearing,
Mhm.
and they could appeal that, they don't like that.
Mhm.
But see, they had added roughly 750,000 around to the value in 2012, so 2012 was higher, but they've appealed that.
Mhm.
And that is, they appealed, the listers appealed the Board of Civil Authority, and it is on the table to be docketed to go back to Norman Wright. But if we do this, then that nullifies that,
Mhm.
you know.
The 10,000, we, instead of coming up with cash, we could also lower their next year's taxes. By
That would be up to the treasurer and your
Right.
people to
Yeah.
work that out. and the
Yeah,
lawyer.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to
Right.
get that out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Except for our budget was already passed,
Right,
counting that $10,000.
right, yeah. Yep. We're just getting the options out there.
Right.
Yep.
We think this is the best way into that.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely
We'll have to
agree.
talk to Sally to see if we put any money in escrow,
Yeah.
because this started like
Yeah.
before some of us. so I
Yeah, it
really
might
don't know
also
that.
be able to come out of the professional services, because this is part of the,
Mhm.
that thing, so, we do have that, and we did plan on some monies there for stuff
And we're
like
still
this.
waiting for the court date, which we haven't heard anymore since we last talked on, Cascade. So,
Okay,
okay, thank you.
Thanks. I agree.
we need to check into that.
Yep.
Check into that.
Yeah, just, all we need to do is, you can go ahead and turn.
I'll probably turn it tomorrow.
Yep.
Do you agree?
No, go ahead.
I don't understand.
Trust me, I have more papers from the time I've been on this board. Years of it piling up. I'm done.
Cemetery committee.
Oh, goody, I got a lot of questions for this girl.
This is everything.
The fan, can I plug the fan in?
Oh, sure.
Is that right?
Is it hot on that end? Oh, yeah. It was a woman.
Welcome. How are you tonight? That's good. We have a light plate tonight, so we're all in a good mood.
Yeah.
She's gonna jinx it.
I know.
Here it comes.
You look very nice, very down to tonight.
Yes. Doesn't he?
He always does,
So
but I just
handsome.
really like that white
Yes.
silver. See, I always switch it up to Shay, but he does look
Yes.
extraordinarily nice tonight.
Absolutely.
So, Mary Lynn,
Yes,
again, welcome.
thank you.
We're going to talk about the
So
fence.
happy to be here.
I know. I don't blame you. We are a lovely group.
Oh, we can be.
Specs for painting,
Mhm.
they're all ready to go to the requirement. Susan has the one to go, she just, either if I don't contact her in the morning, she has it ready to send to them. unless I say
Now,
change
is it
something.
this length the one that you want to send to the reformer? It's the shortened one, and
Yeah.
if you want more information?
Yeah.
Because, so it's the cheap one,
Yeah.
not the
Well,
really
it would
expensive one.
be, yeah. I would think that you wouldn't want to put everything in there, just if you want.
Well, no, you gotta be careful because we don't want to spend too much money on it.
No, I know, I'm just
Yeah, 'cause-
saying, if you just put in there that you're opening for bids, for blah, blah, for specifications, go to the town
Right.
clerk or.
Yeah, because the website was like hundreds of dollars if we
Yeah.
put the whole thing in.
Right, it would be like $500-something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there were
that's
some
kinda
questions
silly.
today when I was at the town office about it, so I just wanted to make sure that you're gonna put the condensed
Yeah,
piece in, the one that doesn't cost just as much at the reformer. Right, Mike? And, and then we can just tell them to go for the specifics of the bid to the town clerk's office. Motion, please?
No, you go ahead.
okay, I'm going to approve it and allow them to put the front to bid.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to
Second.
approve the bid for the painting of the Tyler Cemetery fence and to allow it to be put out to bid. I'm sorry. Okay, both.
It's three.
Okay, all three.
I know.
Okay, so you know I haven't completely read this yet. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Okay, can I ask this woman some
And,
questions?
and we had,
After, all right, go.
you had discussed before cemetery hours, and we discussed it at our meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of the consensus of the committee that we didn't want to do that at this time, anyway. And that, I did, talk with, the police chief about asking the patrol people to kind of keep an eye out on the cemetery to make sure that if there was somebody in there late at night, that they were there warning someone out.
Partying.
Partying.
Yeah. Weirdos. Drinking.
No.
I was afraid you'd say that. But here I go anyway, because you know me. Yeah. See, now you've got me. Oh, I know, there was a lot of complaints about the grave sites were, well, yeah, but they were stones, the sod wasn't put back on, or a lot of weeds growing is something,
We're
yeah,
getting somebody to take care of us.
good. And then the last but not least, and I can't remember it, so we'll just move along. Oh, I do remember. 2 years ago, the town, at town meeting, the town voted for $66,000 for the headstones.
We have the
Are you
specs
working on
coming
that? Yeah.
Specs coming on that one, so I
Oh,
should have
great.
that for next meeting for approval
Yeah.
for that.
Great, great. That was it. Thank you.
I have one other thing. Do you
Okay.
have time for tax sale?
Sure.
Sure.
That's the notice for tax sale. It has been set for the 24th of July. First notice was on the paper on the 5th. And customarily, there is somebody from the board that attends the tax sale to bid for the town in case there are no other bidders. So I don't know if someone wants to, or you want to appoint someone now, or wait until a later meeting.
When's the first one going up? What date?
It's the 24th of July at 4.
24th. Oh, okay, I see it. Underline that.
I think that's a Wednesday.
January 24th, 4 p.m.
Yeah, downstairs here.
I'd like to say I'd like to go because I really would.
Those in
but
first
with a lot, with what's happening right now at home, I better not,
after that.
and my brother, so.
For now, we'll appoint Sandy, and if for some reason you can't make it, Sandy, one of us will fill in for you. I mean, it's tough, although I'm not getting home July 24th. Yeah, I'm gonna be with Michael.
All right, I make a motion that Sandy be appointed to go with the delinquent tax collector on July 24th.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Sandy Harris as the representative for the board at the tax sale along with Marilyn Sherlin on July 24th at 4 o'clock. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. But that first one's been a lot of years.
Yes.
I mean, it's-
Last time we did this, someone came and paid money, and I'm not accepting money. Payment this time, it's gonna go to sale.
Payment in full.
Yep.
We end up with this, and so it
Yeah.
can be done, and,
Yep.
if they want it, they can get a tax sale, and so a deed will get done.
Mhm.
Can you just
Who
briefly
seconded the motion?
outline what happens
She
at
did.
tax sale with
Process?
the process and
The bid normally starts at the amount that's owed, the minimum amount that's owed. And then it could, depending upon how many people are interested, it could go for more than what the amount is owed.
okay, so the minimum is
That the taxpayer,
what?
right, plus whatever.
So if they only owed $5 in taxes, that minimum could start out at $5. I mean,
Plus,
there's,
plus the fees that are
right,
attached to it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what they owe plus any fees is what the minimum bid would be.
Maybe I'll go
Right.
bid.
Then the property owner has 1 year to
But-
redeem it, plus they're still paying 1% interest per month.
And that 1%
That money-
interest goes to the person who.
Right.
Right.
So if they owed you $5 of taxes, I would turn the $5 in to pay for their taxes, and say they paid $10 for it.
Mhm.
$5 would go to pay for the taxes. That other $5 would go into an escrow account.
Mhm.
So that if the owner came and redeemed the property, they would then get their $5, or they would get their whole 10, but they would get that $5 plus the interest that $5 had earned,
Mhm.
plus the tax $5 plus 1% a month, back to the tax buyer.
Mhm.
How much is it a public record of back taxes that individuals owe?
It's all public record. Every month, a list is posted in the town clerk's office.
Doesn't the person that's going to bid on it have to come with their money in an envelope and be ready to pay for it right then and there?
They have to have.
Am I correct?
They have to have the tax amount.
Yeah.
They have to have that much, either cash or bank check or something,
Mhm.
of the amount due.
Mhm.
The remainder amount, if they purchase it by over the amount due, that amount can be in the personal check. But they do have to have it from
But the landowner has a year.
the landlord.
Yeah,
Pay
yeah.
back whatever the bid price was, plus 1% interest.
Plus 1%.
They have 1 year to do that.
But they only get the interest on the overage,
The overage, not on the tax.
So the
right? Am I correct?
No, they get the interest on everything.
If their taxes was $5, they get 1% interest on that per month.
Because the town is paid. Once the auction's over, the town is paid.
But why would they get money on, why would they get 1% interest building up on something that they owed?
No, this is the person who buys it.
Yes,
The
oh,
person-
yes,
yeah.
of course, I get
They
that,
just buy
right.
it.
But I'm talking about the person, if they come in, they get what was paid over, am I correct?
No.
If,
If they choose to sell it? I don't know.
if you buy my property,
Oh, never mind, I'm confused. You're right, it is the buyer, person that buys it that day gets all that back,
Right.
plus 1%. Yep,
plus 1%.
gotcha. I'm on the same page with you now.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phew, that took a while. Right over the head.
I know, it's
I knew that, actually. It's
kinda
just that
hard
it was,
to do an example if you don't
right,
put like a name to it. that
exactly.
you kinda
Yeah, we don't wanna do
figure it
that.
out. No, we
Yep.
don't wanna do that.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Mrs.
No, but thank you.
Are you done talking now?
No, actually, I'm not, but, yeah, but I am with you, honey.
Well, thank you very much for all you do. Thank you, we really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, if it would be all right, if we could have a motion to skip over old business and go on to new business, so we can take Skip Baldwin here. He is actually here because he has an issue he'd like to discuss with us.
Well, we don't have old business, so we don't have to have a motion, do we?
Yeah, we have, I'm sorry, there's nothing in there, but the RFP for the website is
Oh,
in under old business.
oh, okay, then, so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to skip over old business and go on to new business. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Skip, come on up.
Need executive session or no?
Yes, but you gotta come up here
Okay.
first. Yeah, it's a personal issue. Skip called me, I don't know, Friday, but it was after the agenda was already out. So I told him he could come in and discuss an issue with us and we could deal with it under new business
And it's personnel?
personnel.
Madam Chair, make motion to go into personnel, into executive session on personal matter with Skip Baldwin, the disclosure of this town which may be detrimental to the town and the individuals involved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session with Skip Baldwin on a personnel issue, the disclosure of which at this time might be detrimental to the town and/or individuals involved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We went into executive session at 7:10, came out at 7:40, no action taken. Okay. Now, we need to set a town meeting date for the farmland protection issue. Now, Sandy, we're gonna give a little history here, because people are confused as to what's going on here. Farmland protection was established in,
1960s, I
yeah,
believe.
wasn't it somewhere in the 1960s?
Marjorie
um,
Landis was the first property. Was it late 60s, early 70s?
I would say more into the early 70s, I believe. Yeah,
Early 70s.
right, yeah.
But the reason why the Farmland Protection Committee was established is because our forefathers, who were responsible for the town at the time, saw into the future and were concerned about a lot of farmland being gobbled up and developed in the town of Vernon. And they saw the value way back then of farmland and the importance of farmland to our economy in Vermont and our economy here in Vernon. So they established the Farmland Protection Committee with a few dollars that have been put in on and off over the years. We haven't put money in the Farmland Protection budget every year, but we've put in a little here and a little there. And the purpose of farmland protection was if a farm in Vernon was going up for sale, the Farmland Protection Committee would discuss with the seller ways to keep that land farmland. In recent history, we did buy a piece of property from Sir Sosmos that was going to go actually into development. Rumor at the time, and we all know rumors, rumor at the time was it was going to be buildable lots for houses. And the Farmland Protection Committee came to the Select Board and said, this land's coming up for sale, we would like to save it, and we did. The same thing has happened now. It was actually the seller of the property that we're going to discuss at our special town meeting went to the Farmland Protection Committee and discussed with the Farmland Protection Committee ways to keep this land farmland.
So
this-
Patty, does the, does the committee have a number of alternatives, either from buying the land outright to buying the development rights to, that's,
The development
We
rights.
just buy the
Buy
development.
So you don't buy the
development
land
right. We don't buy the
outright?
land,
Don't
we
buy
buy
the
the
land.
development
Oh, all
rights,
right.
so that we're protecting the land. Something, almost like what current use does statewide.
Oh,
You know, we
okay.
buy the development land. The town of Vernon never owned
right.
the land. We buy the right to cut that into little lots and put houses on it.
Okay.
Or anything else, but to keep it farmland. That's what we're buying the right to. The select board really didn't even know anything about this land coming up for sale until the farmland committee actually came to the select board and discussed that. So I want people to understand that. This is truly the committee process working the way
Yeah.
the ordinances were written for them to work. It is going to be totally up to the voters in this town as to whether or not they want to buy the development rights on this land. But I think it's important for people to have a little bit of history here as to what's going on. The select board is not getting a blank check to go out and buy land. That is not at all what's going on. The town is going to make a decision as to whether or not we want to keep this farmland. Now, there have been, even when I was on the board different times, there have been property owners that have come to the select board or to the planning commission, and to the Farmland Protection Commission, and said, my land's coming up, I'm putting my house for sale, I would like the town to buy the building rights for this land. And the Farmland Protection has said no, because it wasn't true
Yeah,
farmland.
we just recently.
The only land the Farmland Protection Committee is supposed to even suggest a town meeting and voters making the decision on is land that is truly farmland. So that's why we are where we are right now. We have a beautiful piece of farmland that's been farmland for hundreds of years that is going up for sale. And the taxpayers and the voters in this town are going to make the decision as to whether or not we want to buy the development rights on that land, or we want to allow the land to just go up for sale and take our chances. So that's a little bit of history as to what's going on here. Am I right? Okay, and we will explain this again at our special town meeting, but we have to set the date for it. Now, by statute, it's 45 days ahead of time we have to warn it. So somebody covered up our calendar here, so we can't see 45 days. Let me fix the calendar. We're kind of lost without our calendar here. Okay.
Should be hung up higher, too.
So, our town clerk is going to be on vacation on August 11th, and I don't want to ruin her vacation, so I'd like to set it around her. And our moderator is going to be on vacation, which it doesn't matter anyway, because it's, I think he said the 3rd or 4th week of July, but that would be below the, oh no, it wouldn't be below the 45 days.
The 18th would be the 45 days.
The 18th, well, so we could do it the first week of August, the beginning of the week, the 5th or 6th. You can go ahead and hold it.
The 6th, I have to leave. We can do the 5th.
We could do it the 5th. Does that sound okay for everybody? Monday,
Yes.
August 5th?
Yep.
I think that beats everybody's vacation. It's very difficult in the summertime to, and that will be our select board meeting that night.
Yeah.
Because I did want to talk to you guys also about doing the same thing we did last summer, but we'll talk about that in a few.
6:30 for the time.
6:30, I think, is probably the customary time, so we will warn it for August 5th at 6:30 at the school. We'll have to get the school. Now, Sandy, how do we go about that? Do we call the school, or?
Yeah, or Susan can probably call the school.
Okay.
Or you can, and just check with Daryl.
Okay.
Daryl's retiring, won't be there. We're leaving on the 30th, I believe, of June is his last day.
Oh, good for him.
Yep,
And even if there's anything on the calendar,
he may not, yep.
yeah, we'll just check.
I don't know who's taking his place. I'm not sure if they have somebody yet or not, but.
The ad was just in the paper, I don't think so.
I mean, I could almost say we could have it here at the town office for the amount of people that have been showing up at town
You
meeting.
can
We
have,
We
can
can
have
fit
it
them
here.
here, but you just don't, we never know how many people are gonna show up, and it's, what, 150 capacity?
no,
70.
yeah, 50 or 60 is written on the thing,
Yeah, it
each
is written
room.
on there, I've seen it before,
Yeah,
but,
but
you know, it's one of those things, you look at the
75
sign
out
every
there.
time you go
I thought
by.
it was
and-
60.
Changes.
It may be 75.
Yeah, and you know, if we could have 10 people show up, we could have 100 people show up, you
Right.
just never know how many people are gonna show up, so.
Better to have
We're
it.
better to have it at the school,
Mhm.
so, let's put the warning out for the 5th, call the school, and, well, maybe we should call the school and check with them tomorrow and then warn it for the 5th?
Yep.
Okay. Got an awful long list of things to do tomorrow.
I'm sorry I can't help you. I would though. But you probably already know that about me.
And we have to let our moderator know, and our town
Town
clerk.
clerk.
And I'm sure this will be in the newspaper, so that will help let everybody else know.
Yes.
Okay. August 5th at 6:30. All right. Now, I have on here town antique car meeting discussion. I got a phone call from George.
Vernon?
Yes. Wanting to know if, and I've tried calling him a couple times and haven't connected, so I'm kind of, you know, pulling this out of a message that was given to me. But he is part of the antique car organization, and they wanted to know about using the town parking lot as one of their meeting places.
That'd be awesome.
I
Oh,
have,
that
I
would
have
be
no
so
problem with
cool.
that.
It would be
That's
awesome.
wonderful. But, you know, obviously that's a vote for everybody to take, so, if we wanna make the motion, I can get back to him and let him know that if the select board is in approval of
Oh,
him
I
having
move
them
that.
having their own
Well,
antique car.
do you want to wait till Jeff gets back?
We can do it.
Rest- Yeah. Yeah,
And
ha-ha.
the liability, we have no liability, right?
No.
There's liability.
Yeah, I definitely move.
Okay.
Moved and seconded to allow the antique car, you know, I've got the name of
Did
it.
he say what it was gonna be?
No, he didn't say, and I don't, you know, like I said, I haven't connected with him. He left a message at my office, of course I wasn't in there, because I'm never in my office anymore, and I've tried calling him a couple of times,
I'm sure he'll
but I
let us
haven't
know.
connected, so.
What is his last name? I'm sorry, I didn't get.
BIRNER.
I would probably add a friendly amendment to that, contingent on what, as long as it doesn't conflict with any town thing. It probably is a Saturday night, or,
I'm sure it is on the
you know what I mean,
weekend.
or
I'm sure it's
Saturday
on the
afternoon.
weekend,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right, we should make sure that we're, you know, so it'll have to be scheduled. You know, we just don't want a whole bunch of people showing up all the time, and then find out
Friendly
that.
amendment?
Yes, make it.
To allow so this would be to allow, I just want to be clear on the motion, to allow the
Antique
Antique
Car
Car Club to
I
hold
think it's called Now and Then.
their meetings,
Now and Then, Antique Club.
I don't know.
okay, so hold their meetings at the,
Now hold a
A meeting.
meeting. It doesn't
A
say about meetings.
so hold a meeting,
Mhm. In the
town park,
parking
in the
lot.
town parking lot,
Contingent.
contingent.
On the availability of the parking lot.
Yeah, but if it's a weekend, it's gonna be
Yeah.
fine. Just in case.
And Janet made the motion, and who seconded? Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Wanted to talk to you about summer. Last summer, we, in the month of July and August, met once. Now, we just set a meeting date for August 5th, so that would mean we would have to have a select board meeting that month again. So we would have to have two in August. Is anybody in favor of only having one select board meeting in July? The problem with the summertime is everybody's going on vacation, and it makes it difficult. And And there's not a lot of issues to deal with usually in the summertime. Our select board, our meetings are usually pretty short, so.
But didn't we have something going on that, oh, that's Mary Lynn. All right, yep. No. The 24th there. I was thinking there was something going on the 24th, and I said, no, that's Mary Lynn, sorry. Bring her in.
They have lunch with me at 5:30.
That's true.
Or even after this special town meeting, because I'm sure it won't be a long one.
So we could do that. Our meeting for August could be the first of the month, and the meeting on the 5th, we could meet after the town meeting.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, though, these, you can get into 5 hours of discussion, and
Then you adjourn to our recess till time of recess.
I just hope people come out to this. This is an important thing, and we need more than five or six townspeople to vote. We need a good showing so that, I would feel more comfortable with.
Do you want to send out one of those flyers?
I think it would be I think that would be a really good idea to add, because people just don't understand, there's so many new people in town, they don't understand what the Farmland Protection Committee is all about.
Right.
And, when you don't understand it, people,
Because there's going to be a big expenditure, and they need to have their.
If somebody from
Yep.
Farmland wants to write it up, write up a description or something,
Yeah,
yeah. I have no idea what it.
Sandy's gonna
This is
talk
the
with
first I've
Art.
heard of it, but I'll get the flyer out if somebody gives me the information.
Sandy's gonna talk to Art, and they're gonna write something up.
Okay.
And we'll get that
Costs
out.
about $160, is
Yeah,
that
we can
okay?
take that out of the select board.
Okay.
yeah.
We have money set
Okay.
aside for that.
Just do one of
Would
those
you mind
EPP
saying
things. if
Yeah.
you want. That's-
Exactly.
Because I think it's important to explain to people, there's just so many rumors about what this really is going around. I think people need to understand that this isn't, this is something that was done in the early 70s, and it's town ordinance, and the select board has a responsibility to follow through on town ordinances. We're doing our job. Plus, I think it's important that we preserve our farmland.
I think we should
So-
probably put it out in
It
July.
just has to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just has to be on cardstock, because when I did the seniors,
true.
I didn't have cardstock. I was gonna go out and buy it, but, because the town clerk didn't have it, so we used the heavier paper, but it just, and the
Oh,
post
okay.
office said cardstock only. So
Okay, I
when
can
we
bring
did
it
the-
up to, if need be, I can bring it up to the printers in Brattleboro and have them just print the whole thing.
Yeah.
It only costs $60 on cardstock, and then
Yeah.
bring it back here and mail
Yeah,
it.
because it's gonna cost, some money for the cardstock paper anyway. I mean, not $60, but I don't mind getting that, and then we could ask Susan if,
Yeah.
she'd run them off, because there's only like, maybe, 1,000 something, or.
Can she
yeah.
run off cardstock and?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
her
Yep.
copier?
Yep.
And we could do it that way, we just buy
Sure.
the cardstock and
Yeah.
run it off. They just have been wonderful at helping us with this stuff, so I'm sure
Yes.
they wouldn't mind.
Yep.
And then, I'll help you with the whole mailing and stuff. We can do it on a weekend and bring it to
Yeah,
the
it's
post
pretty,
office
once you
on a
get it,
Monday.
you get
Once
it
it's-
set up, it's pretty
Right.
easy. You
Yeah.
just have to count a bunch of stuff. It takes about an hour.
And Sandy's suggestion was to do it a little closer
50,
to
50,
the
50.
town meeting instead of further away, because then you're not only educating people, but you're
Right.
reminding them of the date of the meeting.
So maybe do it mid-July?
Might help them
Mid-July-ish?
with the
Okay.
posters and stuff like that, because, with the paper, that's kind of what I did anyway, and she knows how to do the computers part of the
The
postal
indicia.
things,
I
and
finally remembered the
and
name
the
of
other
it.
thing, is for a certain amount for rural Route 1, 2, and post office, and then you have to do it in 50s and 50s, and I don't mind helping with
Okay.
that.
The only thing I don't know how to do is write it up, so if somebody just gives me something written, I'll do it.
No, I think it's important to go to the
Sure.
chair of the Farmland Protection.
Have them
Committee.
write it up,
It's
and then
such
we'll-
a history that you can help them, and, but I'd like to explain the history of the Farmland Protection and where it came from, and what this is all about, because there's just there's so many new people in town, they just don't know what's going on.
Like me, was hanging on your every word saying, so that's how it started, okay.
Okay,
So the dates on the select board are gonna, for July would be, we're only meeting once, so gonna be the first.
so when we gonna meet in
Second.
July, the first Monday night in July is July
first.
4th week.
It's the
Is that
first.
or the second?
It's the first.
It's the
first.
first, I thought it was the
Yeah.
second, too.
So do we want to meet on July 1st?
Sure,
And that'll be it for July?
yeah.
Or should we go to the 8th?
I think the 8th.
I think the eighth
So we're
Otherwise,
not
you're gonna
makes
have
more
four
sense.
much
weeks
of a
in between
space
there.
in
Yes.
yeah.
between
Right,
when
it's
we're
too
meeting.
much.
I
Yes.
think that would be a better idea.
I do too, I like that. Yes,
That's
Yeah.
a big month.
So let's meet July 8th, and it'll need, we can warn it ahead of time. And, well, which obviously we have to.
And the next one would be August 5th,
yes.
after the
next one
town
will be
meeting,
August
after the
5th.
special town
Following
meeting.
the,
Should we do
Special.
following or before?
Probably following.
Following, okay, following town meeting.
and just make it a small agenda.
Because
Should we-
We have to do, that has to do it, because you're gonna have, if they approve it, you're gonna have to authorize the deed to be drawn.
Right, yeah.
Now, we'll have to come back here for our town meeting, our select board meeting, because
Yeah.
we.
That's all right, we could, yeah, yep, we can do that. I
So-
think that'd be fine.
Okay. So BCTV needs to know we probably won't be on at 6:30. And it'll have to be warned as select board meeting following
Yeah.
the special town
Mhm.
meeting.
No,
But
We
back
won't have
here
a
at the
time.
select board.
Back here at the
Right.
select board room.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we'll have to make sure that we're cognizant of the fact that if we're only meeting once, we all have to go in and sign the warrants, because Sally cannot
Oh,
wait
right. Okay.
Yep,
a month before she pays the bills.
yep.
So,
And if anything,
Okay.
big deal happens, that we're all know what's going on.
yeah, if we need to have an extra town meeting,
Or
I'm
special.
stuck on town meetings now. We need to have an extra special an extra select board meeting that month. We can just warn it ahead of time, that's all.
Something big comes,
Okay.
yep.
Sound good to everyone?
Yeah,
Sounds great.
Okay?
yeah.
So stay out of trouble and we won't have to.
I thought there was something else, but I
Just
just,
schedule the,
Yeah, we gotta do the RFP for the webpage. We have
That's
to go
right.
back to old
Can I
websites.
just add one, the October 3rd for the town fair, VLCT?
Oh, yes, oh. And I have a couple other things here for new business. Okay, Susan gave you that paper, or did she gave it to you?
I have the note on it.
Okay. The Vermont League of Cities and Towns Town Fair is October 3rd.
mm,
And it was suggested that we ask Cookie about taking the town van that day and having everyone who's going up, all the employees or select board members or whoever else wants to go up to the town fair, go on the town van. Saves a lot of money. Instead of paying mileage to 3 or 4 cars, to just have the town van, everybody can go up together. And you might even find, as Susan said to me today, you might find more people go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely a good idea. We used to go up on the buses. We'd all load up, meet right here and load up and go, and it was a great day. It was an enjoyable ride. It didn't seem so long, and I absolutely agree with it.
Where
It's
is
a
it? Is it
town
It's in
van.
Killington.
It's in
It's
Killington
in
again.
Killington this year, yeah.
Yep. It is the town van / bus or whatever you want to call it, and I think that's a good use, and Cookie is
it's a great job.
yeah, so, I mean,
And she'd probably enjoy it too.
and she would enjoy it, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a short enough trip that you won't have the opportunity to get too irritated with any of the other riders.
I don't know about that. I can't guarantee that.
I'd get annoying pretty fast. You know.
I even might take the trip to
Couldn't
town
even
fair
travel with me.
to be with everybody. That would be a,
I think
Good
it'd be
thing.
a real fun time.
yep.
All right, so
I make a
Put in motion.
motion that we use the town van and ask Cookie to come along with us as a town bus, as our driver on October 3rd for the town fair.
it's been moved and seconded to use the town van and ask Cookie Allen,
Bus.
and ask Cookie Allen to be our driver for the day of the Vermont League of Cities and Towns Town Fair in Killington, and we invite all the employees who can to attend. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, we have here, Josh Unruh sent this to me today. It is a municipal fireworks display permit for the fireworks and a certificate of liability from, liability insurance from the Atlas Company. So these both needs to be signed before the town picnic. The person who's gonna be in charge of the display is Tom Fox.
Great.
Who is licensed to do
Yep.
that, and we thank him very much for his time. It'd be nice to see him
Yep.
again. And
Bobby Miller's licensed for that too, isn't he?
oh, is he? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Well, he may be helping, I don't know. I just know that on here it says name of person in charge, so I read it. It's not that I'm all that informed.
Are you gonna make the motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the municipal fireworks display permit and the certificate of liability insurance. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, there's 3 signatures here, but we can just,
Do we all have to sign or just
we
one?
don't have to.
I
but-
think just the chairman's good enough, isn't it?
No, it's got 3 signatures, so we should sign 3. So the chair, vice chair, and the clerk.
Okay. But what if Jeff wants to and Janet?
I'm the sulk.
I can never win, no matter what.
Less things I have to say.
I'm joking with you. Not really.
No ego.
You're
That's
not
why we
supposed
love
to
you.
sign anything official with blue.
And, you know,
You're
I'm
not
gonna
supposed
make
to-
you sit on this side of me next year,
Oh,
okay?
You're not supposed
You're
to.
so quiet.
You're not supposed to sign anything in blue ink, so you just
I don't
messed
have a
up.
black pen. Oh, there is a black pen.
And isn't it 2 spots you're supposed to sign?
Yes,
Where's the other?
this is the second page. There's only 1 spot on the
Okay.
permit.
Okay.
And the other one just explains all this other stuff. Six, three.
Did I need to do the second one or no?
No, there's only 1 signature.
Okay.
Telephone number's down here. Yeah.
I guess we can. I didn't.
I guess you could put my phone number there. As long as you lied about my age.
Jeff, you're on.
I'd like to move that we go into executive session first.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session.
You guys give me
That was
the
personal. With ourselves on a personal matter, the disclosure of which at this time might be detrimental to the town and/or individuals involved.
I'll second it as long as you change the word to personnel, not personal.
Personnel.
You're welcome.
God bless me. It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session on a personnel matter, the disclosure of which at this time might be detrimental to the town and/or
Well.
individuals involved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Hi, I wasn't being a stickler, but, you know, somebody could come back and say, you said personal, and there is no such thing in the open meeting law for personal.
Okay, we went into executive session at 8:07, came out at 8:55, no action taken. Okay, let's go on to Jeff.
I'd like to bring up one thing that is brought to the conversation with Chief Hebert of the Vernon Police Department about relocating and storage for police cruisers. Currently, they're off-site, and she has developed an outline for a project that, in order to have the cruisers be at the town office in the parking lot, and be on pavement. Currently, they're not, and at a more central location. Essentially, all that's needed is a security monitoring system that needs some outside wireless cameras, parking spaces reserved for cruisers that for storage, and it would be at a pretty modest cost of $800. The best thing is there are some grant funds that would be left over from purchasing the light bar for the new cruiser that's coming this summer. So that it would be at no cost to the town of Vernon.
Oh.
And I guess, so essentially, since she's off this week, I'm bringing this up as something that if we could move forward and approve, so the department can have the cruisers here with the security team. Apparently, I mean, the cameras, because, I passed out some of the information, could be reused at a different location, so it's not gonna be totally hardwired into the building.
Do we have somebody available who can install them pretty quickly?
Not sure.
She said it.
Or is-
Does she say that?
It says ASAP with the board's approval.
Yeah,
Okay.
and,
I don't think it would require.
Doesn't require a lot of
And I-
sophisticated stuff.
I think that's a good idea with the cruises being moved here anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
Yeah.
that idea, so, I mean, I would be
Plus,
agreeable
right now,
to
they're
that.
always on dirt, and I
Yep.
think that, they're, wear and tear wise, they're better off being on the pavement, but I
Mhm.
think they belong to the police department.
Yep, I agree.
Yes.
I would like to look in the future into finding some place, because, once the hard weather comes, although I don't think that they're garaged now where they
Mhm.
They're
are.
outside now.
They're outside, but I really would like, if we're gonna invest $30-something thousand in a vehicle, I really would like to see us have some kind of facility that we can actually keep the cars undercover, because winters are harsh here. And number one, response time in the middle of the night, if you can go grab a car.
Without
and
having
it's
to clean it
cleaned
off, yeah.
And you just go.
Yeah.
You're responding better, but, it's a huge investment for this town, and for them to just sit out in the ice and snow and salt is, to me, not good for cars. We are looking into some of those things, and that's where I was gonna go. We've talked about the town garage. That is kind of a distance from here, but there are other options that I would like to look at.
Because we have a
Yeah.
big enough parking lot right out here, we could probably build something. Maybe.
Well, we could check into a few different things.
What do you call those, canopies or whatever?
But the one thing I will say about the parking spaces is it's taken us a long time to get those first 2 parking spaces to be handicapped, and I really believe that's important. The handicap spaces are always supposed to be the closest to the building. So I have no problem with designated parking spaces for the cruisers,
But I'm sure.
but I don't want it to be in the
Positive they won't.
handicap.
Yeah, no, they won't. be, but,
I refuse to give that up.
No, again, I think there's some appropriate spaces. I mean, certainly there's very few times when the whole parking lot is packed.
Right.
So,
Or even right across the street where they park now, or across the street, across the parking lot, it's 10 steps. where
Right,
they
just
park now.
opposite where the handicap
Right.
spots are, sure.
Right, but I think, for the time being, the monitoring cameras can go up fairly quickly. The marked spaces can certainly be done a little bit later.
Yep.
grant funds will only be available until September of this year, so.
I think go now.
Well, there's parking spaces can be marked when the lot's gonna be
Right.
paved this year and re-painted. So, the parking spaces can be marked at that time. That's why the handicap ones haven't been remarked yet, because they're gonna pave first.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we authorize Chief Hebert to purchase the security monitoring system, and to have the cruisers moved back to the town office building, or moved to the town office building.
Immediately?
Well, as soon as the
As soon as
monitoring
possible.
system comes in.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to allow the Police Chief Heber to purchase a security monitoring system for the parking lot here and to bring the cruisers back home. And she is authorized to move ASAP and to use her grant funding for it. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, one other thing, and new business, and then I think we're new business out.
Yes, we are.
Vermont League of Cities and Towns is presenting a municipal dog control workshop. And, do you want to go?
If no one else wants to go, I will go. It'd be good if our dog officers would go, but if they can't, I would go and get information, bring it back for them, and just ask for mileage, because you have to pay for my workshops.
I'm not going. I'm not interested in dog control, just as long as it's controlled. Then I move that Sandy Harris be allowed to go in the officer's stead.
I second.
It's for select boards too.
It's
That was
moved
for
and-
select board
it's
too,
moved and
absolutely.
seconded to allow Sandy Harris to attend the municipal dog control workshop put on by Vermont League of Cities and Towns on June 13th. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I will ask that you bring back any information that you have.
I will do
Yeah.
Maybe we could even have
A dog seminar?
with the officers, you can kind of relay the information
Right.
that you've learned at the conference, and we'll have a dog seminar. Man, I don't know. Whatever she's drinking, I want some.
I do too.
Peach iced tea. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, on to old business, the RFP for the website.
Okay,
Really?
we got 10 bids in
I'm gonna run out for a minute, okay?
Okay.
for the websites.
No, we don't get 10 bids in for anything.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, that
I,
was something. We went through them today.
These are very sketchy, but we opened the bids, what time did we leave? About 4 o'clock, so and this is the bids, they sent books. I mean, we've got a huge
Yes.
amount of stuff here, but I did a little spreadsheet of just what the basic costs are. So I thought that would be some place to start anyway. Is there one that is writing on it? If there is, that's mine. No.
There one with writing on it?
She's got it ready.
Oh, that's, yeah, can I have that one back? I'm
Figured
sorry,
you'd be the
Jeff.
one that went the first to write
Of course,
that
thanks.
Wow, what a big range in prices.
Yes. So my sense is, and, with the time that I've had to go over these, some of them are a lot more than what we need. They were all really incredible bids, but some of them are way more than I think we need just for the town website. So,
You not necessarily talking about the price, but just what the package they offer is more than what.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need the deluxe.
right, and we don't need employee training and project management, and I don't think we do anyway.
Probably not at this point.
I don't know if you have any questions about any of them.
I mean,
Well, you did all the bids, does one stand out to you
I
better
guess
than
they
the
should have a
others?
top three.
Well, I think, first of all, do you have any notion, do you care if the people are, if the bidder is local? Does that matter?
Not to me, as long as they're doing the job. Because it's web.
Exactly, yes. I think the three that I liked the best were probably number one.
Let me just say something though first. I see a lot here, it says, use of technical staff to train, or maintain. My whole thing is if we're coming from too much of a distance and we actually have to have workshops, then we have to pay travel and overnight expense and all of that. So
Well-
I think that does give the local people a step up.
And I think, in thinking about the new website, people need to be trained only in keeping their own particular page up to date. Because my sense was, the person who designs the website will also keep the administrator key. The administrator key means you can get into the entire website and change everything, or nothing. I would prefer to pay the web administrator to do that, to be the only person who has the key, rather than give it to somebody in the town, because I think that's where problems come in.
And then that person
Leaves and forget the password and,
Right,
yeah.
right.
We
Or,
end up with what
if
we have
there's,
now.
or there's ever a problem with some part of the website gets mixed up and somebody says, well, that person had the key and they messed up my page, or they looked at my email, or
They did it on purpose.
yeah, exactly. So I think that any of these that involves being able to have monthly support, I think that's important. I would like to be able to, I think we need to be able to call on somebody pretty much anytime we need to. And if we have to pay them, we have to pay them. They're professionals, that's what they're there for.
So what were your top three?
Probably number one. And I like number one. It's really 1, 2, and 3, actually.
1,
I-
2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their prices were all competitive.
What's the one for 800? That's
That one,
kind of seems sort of low.
it was a short bid, and it wasn't terribly detailed, and I'm just afraid that it's not going to give us
It
what
would
we
leave
really
us
need.
open to
Yeah,
something
that
that we
we-
might not
What's your
want.
number one suggestion?
Probably number one. And these were, just so you know, I didn't order these the way that I liked them. This was just the way we opened the bids,
Yes,
Chris and I
it's
numbered them
exactly.
together as they
Yep.
came up. And
What would you feel as far as, should be an hourly rate as far as maintenance, or just a one monthly fee? Do you think we'd definitely end up better off paying the monthly maintenance versus going on that?
I think what I would like to do would be to check with, should we decide on this person or this company, check with them and find out if we could maybe do the minimum for, say, 6 months until we really got up and running, and then maybe switch to an hourly rate, so that we're not locking ourselves. I'd like to see what kind of a contract they need us to sign. Because I think once everybody in town gets familiar with the website, we probably don't need that $100 a month minimum anymore.
Yeah, that kind of was my concern too, was a minimum of, but it's $2,700 or whatever it is for one time only, right? That's just to
That's for
design
the
it.
whole, yes, and that's for
Okay.
everybody. That's just the design
Yeah.
cost.
And, I mean, because the monthly fee here is pretty much the same.
They're all
I mean,
pr-
there's
yes.
nobody over
Until you-
or under, but, I mean,
Until you get way to this.
I know, but I'm talking about the first
Yeah, like
three
the
that you.
$54,000 one is.
Yeah,
way
that's
over.
California. That's California too, you gotta,
That's
I
way
mean,
over what you
right.
need.
And what is the calendars? What does that mean? Multiple
They
calendars?
explain in here that they can set up a calendar page
Oh,
for any anybody who's got a page of their own, like Mary Lynn will have one for delinquent tax collector, we'll have one for select board. They actually can put a calendar up that will be almost interactive. You can click on June 1st to see if anything's going on June 1st.
Okay,
So
that
the
sounds
select
wonderful.
board would have all their meetings and
Well,
stuff listed there.
Yes.
Okay, now,
Yes. So what we could,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that
No,
on your
that's
paper,
good.
I
No,
meant to
thank
just
and I
point.
think we can mix and match too, so I don't think we need multiple calendars. We could probably do the basic plus one calendar at the $21.99, and then do the maintenance part separately if we wanted to.
Okay, all right. They, the person that we put in there, they will put the information in for us and keep that updated?
Oh,
or-
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was in
okay.
the specs, yes.
Yeah, all right.
That person, there'll be a select board page, for
Mm-hmm.
instance. Katrina can give them the minutes, they'll put the minutes up.
So
Or you
when-
can actually do that yourself,
So
because
when-
you'll have the key for
I was gonna say, I
that
should be able to do
page.
that myself, shouldn't
Yes, on
I?
you,
On my page. Oh,
on the- yes.
select
Or
board
the
page.
planning committee, or any
Right.
of the other committees that you
Yeah,
clerk
but
for.
the problem is that nobody's been keeping up with it.
Well, it's because we can't get into it. That's the problem.
But even when we could get into it, it wasn't kept up.
That was before me.
Well,
when
I know,
was it?
I'm
Yeah,
just
but no,
saying.
I mean, all I really need to do is to be able to get in there so that I can then upload minutes and
Yeah,
put
because
the
that's
things
nothing,
in.
you
And put
just
the
I
dates
upload
consider
it, yeah.
that, I mean, it was part of what you hired me to do. You
Right,
wanted me to do
absolutely.
it. And so
Right, yeah.
I just can't get in there now
And then
to
when
do
we
that.
have some of the smaller committees that don't actually have clerks, that.
So they could just
so-
go on a select board's
But-
calendar,
But they
planning
keep
commission.
minutes, and
right.
you email your minutes around to your other committee people, right? So every one of the committee chairs can put the email for whatever company we pick, and those minutes will Mike's falling asleep. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for pointing that right out.
So do you want us to email the company? or-
So-
Strike that.
No, you could just email.
But if you're gonna, is that how it would work? They'd email the company, or is that what that, and
What we
they're
would
gonna
do-
bill
what
you
would-
$100?
what
a
would
month for
happen
that?
is that, well, I'll talk to them, but I believe what will happen is that once a month, they will update. They will put all of the minute, anything that comes to them, they'll update it once a month.
That wouldn't work.
That
though.
wouldn't work for us.
No,
Because
because
we
then
need to be up there
everybody's
within
minutes would
5
be late.
days.
But it wouldn't matter, because Katrina will have the key to the select board page, so she can
But
put
not
them up.
only our minutes, everybody's minutes have to be up in 5 days.
Oh, no problem, I'll just tell them that.
I mean, I can do that. I can do that piece of it, but what I'm asking is, are they then gonna charge you, I mean, this is a minimum in this particular one of $100 or $50 a month. If they're gonna charge you that, whether I'm uploading minutes or they're uploading minutes.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So if they're gonna charge us that, it literally is a 2-second, if somebody's emailing them minutes that are already
Right,
set up, it's literally a 2-second job for them to upload them, and then you
Yeah.
have one person dealing with all of the minutes.
okay, then you've
And,
got,
and hopefully, we can give this company a list, and if they don't get minutes, we could give them a list of the chairs of every
probably
committee's
not, they
email.
probably won't do
They
that.
probably won't do that.
Well, then we need to make sure, the key is, we need to make sure that the minutes are getting
Right.
on, so how will we know?
You'll know, because you'll see them on the website.
Probably the same way the poor town clerk knows if she gets them or not.
Right.
What do you
Just don't
mean?
get 'em.
Right.
She doesn't get them.
We go to the web, somebody's gonna have to be in charge of going to the website all the time to make sure that minutes are there.
Technically, the chairs of the board should be able to do that.
I know, but what's
This is what every town does.
yeah, what's the
so.
ramifications? I mean, what if they don't do it? I mean, come on, they don't do it now.
I know.
The law says 5 days, and let's get them there.
But the whole point is, we're trying to remedy some of these situations.
Okay,
So
but-
you're right, they don't do it now, so we're problem solving here. How do we make sure it gets done?
Maybe the
Okay.
fact that it's on there, more people are gonna be looking at it, and so they're gonna be asking them, so that might just be the impetus that you need.
There'd be a little more interest to actually get it done.
Yeah, all right.
Or we just have to ask every committee chair to just look at their own
Right,
page and make sure that
Make
they're
sure
there.
that it's there. It
That's
needs to
part
be
of
there
it.
5 days.
that's part of the
Yeah.
office chair.
Yep.
We have a board secretary, I don't have to worry about it.
Right, and you have a big mouth over here that always makes sure.
Which is fine, I'm more
I'm
than,
always after her,
I'm more
trust
than
me.
happy to,
Yeah.
to
mean,
be, you know, to be on that
You do it when there's
part.
a cemetery committee meeting, you know, if I don't get the minutes back, you ask me where they are, or I tell you when they're coming. So, you know, if you're the chairman of the committee, you ought to know when the minutes are gonna show, are supposed to show up.
And if the minutes,
The
and
minutes
these little
have to
chairs,
show
if
up
the
in
minutes
5
just come
days.
to me, then I can just upload them right
Yeah.
away. So not each chair wouldn't need, you know, a key to do to page, but,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? Then all they'd have to do is just email them to me and I can just upload it,
Or
that's
they
it.
could just, or their secretary just email all these minutes.
Right.
I don't think that it's, you know, is it a problem that the minutes aren't getting there? Or they're not getting there in 5 days? Because it has to be in there, whether
Have to be in
draft or
5
otherwise,
days.
in 5 days.
Probably some of both,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so,
probably a combination.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think they were.
but haven't they been told, they've been written a letter and told, yeah, that they have to be in 5 days? I don't know.
One other question while
I
we're
hope it
talking
would
about
solve
the
something.
website things. You mentioned, and I thought it was a good idea, one of the things that we can do, and I can ask the company that gets this, is to create a separate email address for everybody on the select board that says, you know, Jeff at select board, Sandy at select board.
Yeah,
So
we
do you
need
still want
separate
that?
emails for select board,
You do
yes.
want that to
Because
happen,
I
okay.
prefer to get that, I may forget for a while that I have to check somewhere else, but I would prefer that than use my own private, because it is my private email.
Right.
And I don't want anybody to be going,
Case of
saying,
public
right.
records and something's on
Or
your
even
home
tracking,
computer,
being able to
Yeah.
track
you
something.
don't- You don't want somebody from a law enforcement agency to show up at your home and,
say I'm
Right, and take your
confiscating your
laptop,
laptop.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we
'Cause-
shouldn't be in this position
no,
to,
I can't tell you how many times my computer's, you know, crashed and I've lost them all.
Okay,
You know,
not a
and
problem.
this way, it would be somewhere else also, and, I mean, even though I can bring them up on mine, it'd be
Yeah.
somewhere
and
else.
then when board members go, you know.
You just hand over the email.
You hand-
Email.
Right, and it's,
Email.
that's the end of it.
That's what I did with the Vernon
Yep.
Secretary, that's why it's set up as Vernon Secretary, when I'm done, when you're done with me, it goes to the next secretary, and that's, and all the history is there, that's the other
That's
piece
right.
of it, is all the
It should,
communication
it
and
should
all the
pass from
history is
one to
here.
the other,
Yeah,
always.
that's the way I think it should be.
Okay,
You know, and not personal email,
No.
you know, like, I don't want anybody in my private email, I don't.
Yeah, it should be all just,
I've
and I will
been in
ask,
trouble many times for that.
I'll ask the company.
Do that
um,
again, ever.
In the specs, we had all of the pages that we wanted, and I'll ask the company to, either by phone or in person, contact every page, contact Susan, contact you, contact everybody, and find out what email addresses do you want to use, you know, what needs to be connected to what. That's gonna be part of
And
this
how
whole
many
design
emails are
fee.
we allowed to have? As
Doesn't
many as,
matter.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter,
as many,
okay.
So,
We're allowed to have as many tabs
But
as we
we'll
want,
be
as
able to
many
go
pages.
into it from our own home.
so you set it up somewhere, they're gonna ask you for an email address, basically, that you want your mail to go to.
So
And
if we
you're
set
gonna
up a
provide
select-
them with an email address, so we can set up, like I set up a Gmail account, that can be accessed from any computer, anywhere, at any time.
Yep.
And then you can, you can each set up, same thing, it could be, through a Gmail.
So you can have yours
Yeah,
go to
but-
your
other
home
carrier.
email address.
But wait a minute, wait a
No,
minute,
but
wait,
what I
then
want, I
how
wanna
does
get
it?
away from that.
Yes,
I
how
wanna
does
get
it
away
get
from all of
past-
us using our home email
No, we
address.
That is- that's
discussed
what we're
that, I'm
talking
sorry.
about.
We said that we'll set up one for the select, it'll be,
So it'd be like
O'Donnell at
p.o'donnell@vernonvt.org.
Something of that.
or select, whatever, yeah,
Then why would they
selectboard.org.
ask us for a private email then?
It's
Because
not a private, it's gonna be, you're gonna have to set up an email
it'd
account.
be a totally separate.
And then they'll
email
link it.
account
What they're
just
gonna
for
do
that
is link
purpose.
it, so that if somebody clicks
they'll
on it,
link
they'll
it.
link it to you.
Okay.
But they're gonna
Right.
ask you that email, what email account you wanna use. So we would have to set up
So we have to set
email
up
accounts for each
another
select
email
board
account.
member.
Okay.
And I think we obviously have to keep it standard
Yes.
somehow. So
Yes, it would be the same.
So maybe have them set
VernonSelectboard.org
it up
or
for us.
VernonVT.org.
Yeah, and they will
No,
set
it
it
would
up,
be
they'll
each-
set up
Each
whatever you
one
want.
name.
Yes.
At.
Yeah.
But it would all be the same, you're right, it would be a first initial, last name, select board,
Yeah.
Vernon Select Board at, whatever company you choose to then.
And then I'll let
But
them
they'd all be
loose on
consistent. They
everybody
wouldn't
else
be
in town, all the
different.
other town employees, see if they want to keep their current email addresses, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
What we've paid for 5 years is the Sovereignnet server domain. That's fine, we're going to keep that.
Right.
And then I don't know what the town clerk is going to want to use for her email address, I don't care, that will
Well,
all
she
be
has,
taken care
she
of.
has
She
one
a town
already,
one
she
set up
wants that
she-
one.
yeah,
Mhm.
that she set
No,
up.
she's already set it up with the state and everything, so, yeah.
And what is that? See, the problem will only come in,
It's the Vernon.org, right?
Vernon Clerk or something like that.
VernonClerk.org, it's the .org one, I think.
She's got one set up strictly for
Just for
town
her,
business.
'cause
Just
what-
for town business.
what we want to do is
Yeah.
take down the 2 websites that we have now.
Yeah.
So nobody can have that extension, the extension of either vernon-vt.org or vernonvt.org, because those are going to go away.
Yep.
And I have one other question. What do we want to name the new website?
What do you mean, what do we want to name it?
Can't use Vernon.
We can't use
Town of?
vernon.org because that one we used already.
Right.
We can't use vernon-vt.org because that one we used already.
How about vernonvt.org without a dash?
We used that one already.
Oh, we did use that one
Yeah.
already.
You want Town of Vernon?
I like that.
That was what I was gonna think of.
Okay.
Yeah, Town
You
of
have to have,
Vernon.
you
I
might
like
have
it.
to have VT in there, because there
Yeah.
is a Vernon, Connecticut.
There's so many Vernons.
Yeah, Town of Vernon VT. Yep, I
That
like
becomes,
it.
that becomes a very long email address.
Yeah, it
It
does.
does.
Town of VT?
No.
No.
How about,
So we can't,
can't reuse?
I was gonna say, can we somehow manipulate one of the websites we already have so we can use one of those addresses?
I don't
No.
think
You'd-
No.
I know,
It's going to be too
It has to-
complicated.
they're gonna
They're
shut 'em
email
down.
addresses that are attached to those that cause some
Yeah, that's part of the
problems, and it's-
problem.
yep, and
Okay.
yep.
All right, well, we've
How,
already
how
paid
very
for it.
long is it? Town, Vernon
It doesn't matter.
VT?
We just paid for the Sovereignnet.
It's all gonna run together anyway.
What about just Vernon, Vermont,
Spelled out?
spelled out?
That's better than. I think
Instead of
that's
Town of Vernon
I think Vernon,
VT.
Vermont.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is
Okay.
better.
Good thinking, Coach.
So, Madam Chair, I'll make the motion that
Okay.
we accept the recommendation and go with Vermont Media Solutions, with the first one for 6 months,
Okay.
6 months.
and then renegotiate.
The second one? Okay.
Renegotiate,
The monthly charge.
The maintenance charge?
To
Yep.
accept, so to accept the Vermont Media Solutions for the basic +1 calendar?
Yes.
no,
Which one?
No,
did
I'm
you-
sorry.
Advanced.
the-
Oh, for the advanced.
advanced,
okay,
yeah.
advanced plus
thank you.
multi-calendars, I thought.
Yes.
Advanced
With the
I wouldn't agree
With
with
the,
that.
plus multi-calendars.
And then on the maintenance side, with the $100 month minimum for the first 6 months,
$100
To
month
be renegotiated.
to be renegotiated in
Minimum.
6 months.
for the first 6 months.
No, to be renegotiated.
With a $100 a month minimum
To be renegotiated in 6 months.
to be
Yes.
renegotiated.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the bid for Vermont Media Solutions, the advanced and multiple calendars website design with a $100 monthly maintenance fee to be renegotiated in 6 months. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very, very
Ah,
much for
you're
doing
welcome.
this. And more
Yes.
importantly, is we have no clue
Yes.
who any of these people are because of the way you did, which is
Well, that's what I
great.
That's
figured
what
I
I'm
should
glad,
do.
Which is
yeah.
great.
But just so you know, they are 2 local people. It's Andrew Glover, who is from Barry, Vermont, and his partner, Ben Gassett, from right here in Vernon. Apparently, Mr. Andrew Glover will do all of the design. He's the website, he's the designer, and then I think Ben will pick it up in the maintenance phase,
Oh, that's
is the
awesome.
way they
Oh.
have it arranged.
Yep,
That's awesome.
And
and we picked well
I did
then.
look pretty closely, and Andrew Glover has been in this business for about 6 years and has
Oh,
set up other
wonderful.
municipalities. He's done other work, and so I think the 2 of them, I think Ben's knowledge of the town will help ongoing, so I think we did
Oh,
good.
that's fantastic.
Very good.
So now what happens? Who writes, somebody